Hey everyone, and welcome back to this week's tips. First off, I just want to say, if we had a great week last week, we got pretty much 8 out of 9. If you exclude the draw, that is, the draw really counts as a win. You should get a bonus bet back on your draws. So that's kind of a win, you know. Other than that, well, I guess we got 7 out of 9, which is still pretty good. But I just want to take this moment to thank everyone for tuning in. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, because I'll be doing this all the way till the end of the year. I'll also be doing my gaming content. There has been some ideas floated around about making another channel. I'm not going to do that at this point in time. No one seems to mind. It's just I won't watch that video. I'll watch this one. You know, you can make up your own mind. You know, I label my videos pretty precisely. It's not all gotcha advertising when it comes to my videos. You know what you're getting. So I'm just going to stick to this formula. But yeah, let's just jump straight into it, eh? So yeah, we got round 12 tips. So yeah, first off, we got the buys. So this week we'll have Brisbane, North, and Sydney, and the Giants. They'll be getting a bye, so they won't be playing this week, which means there will only be 7 games. So keep that in note if you're looking for where they're going to be. On Thursday, we start off with Port Adelaide versus Carlton. Now, this is going to be a close game, only because Carlton played pretty well in Adelaide, and Port Adelaide have only just gotten their stocks, their defence right. So it'll be a testament to how can Port Adelaide's midfield stand up against the speed of Port Adelaide's midfield. That'll be the real test here, and I just don't think they will. But having said that, Port Adelaide have had a lot of difficulty this year scoring with their forward line, whereas Carlton, it's the exact opposite. Carlton have been able to, their forward line's on fire at most times of this year. So it's kind of a, you know, Port will probably win the fast ball and get it forward, whereas Carlton will probably win the slow ball. So it depends on, if this game's raining, Carlton will win. If there's rain, that is. Carlton will win this game, because the slow game will suit them. But otherwise, it'll be Port, I think. So I'm going to say this will be Port. Just simply down to their faster game style. Carlton, little bit injured at the moment. They don't have that run to keep up with Port. So yeah, it'll be a Port win here. Next, on Friday, we've got Collingwood versus Western Bulldogs. Now, everyone knows I've got that. Huge Magpie fan, I bleed black and white, but I'm just going to come straight out of the door here and say Western Bulldogs. You may call me a traitor or a turncoat. Don't call me that, because I swear to God. The reason I'm doing this is because I think Collingwood are due for a loss, and it's because of all the injuries. Now, the last couple of weeks, you could say, oh, but they've had the injuries for the last 4 weeks, and they've been doing just fine. 2 draws and 2 wins, you know, that's pretty fucking good. But no, that's not exactly it. Collingwood have gotten even more injuries than they had. In fact, Richards, one of their younger players, he just did a quad. So it's like, well, you know, I mean, no DeGoey, no Mitchell, no Myercheck. I'm going to be rooting for Collingwood. I'm going to be sitting on the couch going, go Collingwood, upset this game. Because this will be an upset. This betting here is stupid. It should not be 250 to 150. It should be the opposite way around. Western Bulldogs, they don't have Norton, and they don't have their ball winner in, he's got tattoos, Simpson characters all over him. I forget his name. I should know his name. But other than that, they're pretty much full strength. They got some really good players. But I don't know. I just think Western Bulldogs will win this game. I'll be sort of supporting Collingwood for the upset. You know, probably have a beer after the game, because yeah. But yeah, they're my thoughts on the game. Next, we move on to Saturday, and like I said, we're going to have a little bit fewer games this week. Two fewer games, so Saturday won't have as many. Hawthorn versus Adelaide. This will be at the MCG. Now, Adelaide showed last week that they can score goals. Hawthorn, on the other hand, are the number one team for handballing, and I think Adelaide are up there as well. Actually, they've got one of the highest kick ratios. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it'll come down to who wins the contest, and I think Hawthorn will win the contest, and they'll be able to score more than this. Will be a close game. I mean, the betting should be closer than that. I think Hawthorn will win this. Adelaide will be hard pressed to win it. They'll put on a good show, but without Rankin, they're not going to be able to run away from the stoppage like Hawthorn will be. And Hawthorn are just on fire at the moment, and they'll pick on teams that they can get. They won't be able to get the big boys, but they will be able to fight it amongst the middle of the pack, and Adelaide are the middle of the pack. So they'll win this game. Adelaide are just not going to be able to handle it. Another Saturday game, West Coast Eagles versus St Kilda. I've said what I think about St Kilda. West Coast at home, yeah, I think they're a different beast when they're at home. They've got a crowd, they've got the atmosphere, they've got the warm-up, they know where they are, they know what they've got to do. St Kilda just have no purpose. I think they came into this season with a plan, and that plan changed, so they decided to do something different. And they thought they were going well because they beat Collingwood, but Collingwood were playing absolutely god-awful football, so it gave them a false sense of performance, and that's really affected them. Like, they don't know where they are, and where they are is not as good as one of the worst teams last year. So I think West Coast will win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if that number blows out. But yeah, as you can see, the betting, everyone seems to agree with St Kilda being off the radar now. So yeah. I think this is the last Saturday game. Yeah. So there's only 3 games on Saturday, unfortunately. But they're all back to back to back. So you'll be able to have a good game, good footy day if you've got KO or something like that. So this is pretty self-explanatory. I think Geelong here. Richmond, they're god-awful. Last week was probably their best performance for the year, other than beating Sydney. Last week they were up against probably one of the most informed clubs in the lot at the moment, and they really did. Dustin Martin showed that he can still do what he used to do, and that was scary. But without Shea Bolton, they're not going to have that spring to beat the Cats, and the Cats will be filthy about last week, so they'll try and speed up their ball movement. Also, Richmond were bumming the ball long last week, and Ridley had an absolute field day. So Ridley for Essendon, that is. And Geelong feed off that. Everyone knows you don't do that against Geelong. So yeah, Geelong will they'll stomp them here. I think it'll be an absolute flogging. So moving on to Sunday, I don't know why it's still Nam and Wally are, because the Indigenous round is over. It only goes for 2 weeks. But anyway, we'll just go with it. So this is in Alice Springs, which is weird to begin with. Everyone says that like Max Gawn's in the best form of his career, and like he's doing this and he's doing that. And I actually think that Nam are gettable here, Melbourne, that is. So I'm going to go with Fremantle. I think they're in a good enough headspace. Like they'll be ready for this game, and I think in Alice Springs, there's not going to be a big crowd there. This will be a really boring game to watch, I think, on TV. I love listening to the crowd. It's what it draws me to the football. Like, yeah, go, like that's it, yeah. So this would be a boring game to watch if you're interested in that kind of thing. But an interesting footy game, but not atmosphere will be off. So yeah, I think Fremantle will win this game. Yeah. So we move on to the last game of the round. Like I said, there's only 7 this week. Gold Coast Suns versus Essendon. This will be at home for the Suns. I think they're going to end Essendon's streak here. This will be too hard for Essendon. They're doing too well. You know that saying, when things are going well, what could possibly stop us? Well, I think this is the Suns right now. The Suns at home could stop Essendon, and it's not going to be a surprise because the Suns they're brilliant at home. They really are, and if they could translate that into away games, they'd be a much better side than they are. They wouldn't be 10th. They'd be something like 7th or 6th. But unfortunately, that's just they're still learning. Whereas Essendon, they're still learning too, and I think this will be a wake-up call for them. You know, they'll learn that they are not immortal. The Suns have just enough to beat them, and I think it'll either be a one-sided game, which is usually the case on the Gold Coast. There's not very many close games in recent times, unless it's Collingwood. Collingwood had a close one about a year or two ago. And yeah, the Suns have got this one. So yeah, I mean, Essendon will give it everything they've got, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people think that Essendon are going to win this game and upset the Suns, because that is an upset. Like, let me put look at the betting. The betting is in favour of the Suns. Essendon winning here is an upset. Even though Essendon is second on the ladder, the Suns are unbeaten at home, and they are playing excellent footy. So I really do not think that Essendon can overcome the Suns at home. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for the video. Let's hope we can get them all right this week. And there's my virus scanner going off. I turned everything off so it wouldn't go off, but isn't that great? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. Check out my other content if you want to. There's a lot of gaming content. Let me know how you did in last week's tips. I hope you did as well as I did. And as always, be good to your mother, and I'll see you next time. Peace.